Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Georgia Student Connection Friday Night Live Stream. Glad you can make it. I'm Nathan. We've got Chico Wise, JH586, and Kyle Lusk with us tonight. We've sent out a couple other invites. We'll see if somebody else might pipe on a little bit later. Don't think we have necessarily a heavy topic for the evening, so it might be a little bit more free form. I don't know. We'll see what we get into. But let's go around the horn, talk to everybody, see what we've been up to.
Hey guys, Chico here. Thanks for being here. As always, I'm excited.
Let's go around the horn, talk to everybody. My laptop.
No problem,
yeah,
brother.
yeah.
Like, he talking. But yeah, thanks for being here, and I'm loading up my tablet so I can interact with you guys in the side chat. So happy to be here. Happy to have you guys.
Someday I'm gonna learn to mute this damn thing before I start.
Hey guys, glad y'all could be here and join us. It's our Friday night wind down, and we'd like to share it with you. Is Cranky here?
I haven't seen him.
Is that what I saw?
I didn't see him.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, up there. Yeah, there's a howdy. Hey, Cranky, how's it going?
We found him.
Yeah.
Yep, we're just relaxing. We got a couple of little things to talk about, nothing to go into real big detail with, so carry on, sir.
Carry on.
Hey guys, glad y'all here on a Friday night. We look forward to this, and we really miss y'all when we take the week off for the Reloaders Network chat. So we're happy to be back and get cranked back up and get to spend a little bit of time with all you guys and with each other. And I appreciate it every time. There's Big Man. Hey, Big Man. Mig said there was a serious lack of logos. Here's one for you, Mig.
It's a honey of a marketing scheme for sure.
Yeah, it is. I saw somebody did an unboxing video, and they were pulling those things out. I forget who it was, but they were calling them coasters. And I'm like, I'm gonna take this one and get my hot glue gun, and I'm gonna put it up right there on my sticker board thing, so all y'all can see it every Friday night.
Yeah, I've got them up on my hutch with double-sided tape, or hell, I don't know. I think it's just masking tape rolled up. Yeah, that's a good idea. Some hot glue gun, make it happen.
Hey, Jamie, run through the side chat. We got a lot of people out there.
Okay. I see Willie Bullet Man and Mr. Ocean. Hey, Ocean. I see Chico Wise in the room. Cranky Cletus, Uncle Jim, Big Man Outdoors, Fuzzy Fork 8, Kyle Lusk. Anybody else? Vanessa Kitty was on there. There's the Scotsman, Mr. Philip Smith. Uncle John's with us tonight. So we're already up to 20. So thank everybody for joining us. And
Shane's out there too. 10 Man's out there.
Did I not say 10 Man? I thought I said him twice.
You didn't say Shane. He's out there, OP.
I didn't see OP.
Yeah,
Did I not go back far enough?
He's floating
there
around.
There he is.
Yeah, guys, I appreciate it.
On you, Jamie. You're slipping.
That's not my department. That's Nathan's department. We do the best we can
with what we got. I appreciate everybody coming out. Looks like we're going to have a pretty good night. What's everybody been up to?
I've been making videos.
I see that. So what you're up to, number 9, I think now?
Yeah, I got one more.
Didn't you say number 5? Why are we still doing this?
I did. Yeah. I got this powder left to go. And I'm gonna be doing the I'm gonna do everything I can with Shooter's World. Man, it's just it's good powder and it's a lot less expensive than your standard run of the mill powders that we buy.
I saw that Mike Train put a video up and said he wasn't sure what to compare it to and all that. And I'm fortunate enough to have his phone number. And I texted him a picture out of this little brochure that we picked up at the gun show the other weekend.
Yeah.
And it shows all of the Shooter's World powders and all of IMR's, the Western powders, Hodgdon, Winchester. I call it Voody Voody. Alliant. It's got whatever the Shooter's World is comparable to on this chart. If anybody needs that chart, I don't know how I can get it to you. You can send me an email at lust.kyle2@gmail.com and I can send you every picture in this book. It's got all the pistol powders, rifle powders, all kinds of stuff in here. And I called Mike and was talking to him, and he said, yeah, he found it online and printed it off after he made that video, and he's got a lot more load data now. There's all kinds of 9mm, 40 cal, 45 rifle data. There's all kinds of stuff in this book. It's a killer book. I think he got it off of shootersworld.com or something. Shooters World. Here it is. Here's the website. shootersworldsc.com. You just log on there and print it.
I was going to put a link. You can. It's www.shootersworldpowders.com. And they'll have a link to that book that Kyle showed, and everything that's in it. You can just print it off on your color printer, and you can get that. You can get it from North Georgia Reloading. You can order most of it online, but I think Mid-South Shooter Supply sells all of them. And the cool thing about Mid-South is every once in a while, I was sent Willie a text about it the other day. Every so often, Mid-South will run a special where you buy the stuff and you get free hazmat fee if you buy a certain amount, like $50. The hazmat fee will be half, or you like 100 or 100, like 4 pounds. I think was the last one I saw. Buy 4 pounds of powder, though, you get free hazmat. So what are you up to, Chico?
Oh, it's been, I know a lot of you guys don't have, or some of you may have young children. So where I'm at, it's winter break for my child. So he's been like at daycare, and so we just been floating along. I don't know why they give so many breaks to the children now, but I haven't been able to get too much done because whenever the schools, whenever they take the breaks, it throws like a wrench in our plans. So I normally have stuff set up, like if he goes to school, we do this, we come home, daycare is totally different. So I haven't got any loading done. I made a few videos. I don't know if y'all seen the live stream where I was casting. I was trying to get something done. And next time, I know I'm going to have to get me a laptop. So next time I can have people on there while I'm casting so they can be interactive with everybody. But I plan to do some loading.
Let's just do it like we did it at my house. Have Crazy Scotsman behind the counter or the camera, and us just acting like idiots in the middle of the yard.
Yeah, that was fun though, man. So I got some casting done. I don't know if y'all. I know y'all see my J's. I know Uncle Jim seen my J's and Jamie. So I was just trying out, just combining some lead that I had. So other than that, I need to start loading, working on some more. Just like you guys, yeah, I beat a dead horse sometimes. I like this stuff, and I've only used it one time. This Shooter's World powder, I like it, and this is the ultimate. And when I first shot this, I don't even think I have no range footage. It hit. To me, the recoil was soft, but my accuracy was on point. So I think it'll do good for like a competition type deal, but I gotta do more development. Other than that, I've kind of don't want to make it a topic, but I was hearing about new policy changes on this platform that we're on. So take that for what it's worth. You know, I'm sure a lot of you guys heard about that.
That's surprising, man. This tells you how far out of it I've been. I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, like I think it goes in effect in 3 days.
What happens in 3 days?
They've updated or changed the policies. They've changed the strike system where you get a warning. You kind of get a warning. It's like a 3-strike system. I was on a live feed last night listening about it. It was so long I fell asleep on the live. You know, I wasn't on the panel, but I was in the side chat. But it's a lot of stuff. They said everybody should have got an email if you've got a YouTube channel and a creator. So they're talking about, I think the first one, a lot of people were saying they like it because you get at least a warning about a video and you can kind of go back and see how you violate their policy, something, you know. So I haven't got an email. I've been checking everywhere, but people talking about they got emails about a policy update. So I just been following the videos that said it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jimmy. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I saw where Bacon got another video deleted. That's 7 for him this past week. Or did I just dream that? No, I don't think I did.
You know,
I've been too dang busy. Work is killing me. All I wanted to do when I got home today was go to sleep, but I knew I couldn't. So.
Hey, somebody just asked me, did I miss the comment? I think it was Armin and Axis. I think somebody just asked me where I got that powder from. Yeah. Okay, Armin, that's Shooter's World powder. I got this at a local gun show down here, but Jamie, don't you say Mid-South Shooter Supply sells this?
They do, and so does North Georgia Reloading. Either one of those you can get it from. Now, North Georgia, if you got it at a gun show, you probably bought it from North Georgia Reloading.
I did, because I bought projectiles from them too. But that's Shooter's World powder, A&A.
Just gotta subscribe from a new viewer here, Hill Climb, Ohio. So if you guys want to check out his channel, he's got a fair amount of videos. I instantly subscribed to it. I'll go and check it back on it later. But appreciate it, brother. Glad to see you out here.
Now, I've got something interesting coming up, and Uncle Jim, you're going to like this too. Since we're on the subject, Shooter's World Blackout. Cool. And it's good for all kinds of rounds, Magnum handguns, 223, 300 Blackout. I think there's even some 308 loads. Let me consult the Sacred Scrolls. But I'm excited to get that. Me and Jamie stopped by the local gun show, which is really local to me, and I picked that up. And we walked around, looked at a bunch of stuff, and just had a good time. Got away from the world for a little bit. Brought my son with me, and of course we were looking for him most of the day. But okay, yeah, 300 Blackout, 44 mag, 30-30, 458 SOCOM. So Ozark, if you're looking, or anybody else loading 458 SOCOM. And it's got very popular bullets like the 208 Hornady AMAX, 220 Sierra for 300 Blackout, 240 grain Nosler for 44 rim mag, 300 grain Hornady XTP. Those are all very popular bullets. 30-30's got 7 or 8 different bullets, so they like using it for that. So I'm gonna play around with that. That's what I got.
That seems like a pretty versatile powder.
It is in certain calibers. It is. There's a lot of stuff they don't recommend it for. It can be used, but it's not their favorite. So
yeah. something there's two things I want us to cover tonight. Number one, Willie's incident with the lead popping on him, and probably most importantly is the Reloaders Network press kit giveaway. But we're going to get to that in a few minutes. I want to get to that around 9 o'clock if that's all right with you guys, but because that's what time we're going to be doing the thing, and we'll talk about that. But Willie put out a video this past week, and he had an ingot of lead. He put it into his pot, and then it exploded because there was water in it. And one of the things that we were talking about, Kyle and Willie and I were talking about, you guys that when you smelt your lead and you pour it in a muffin pan, do y'all ever get those big old holes in the bottom of it?
Like the craters?
Yeah.
I get some. They're not big, and I'll show you. I'll grab an ingot over here, what I did from my last smelting. Yeah, right there. What,
brother? I got you right here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how we think the water got in there. Go ahead, Nathan.
I've never had that. I have
Really?
no idea. It's got to be a temperature issue.
humidity, something maybe.
Yeah, I've never had that happen. I don't typically use muffin pans, but when I do, I haven't had that, so I have no idea. Yeah, and that's a spot for water, for all kinds of other shit like corrosion and
Mm-hmm.
Well, I usually find it in the first pour. If
Sure.
you're
temperature. Too cold.
muffins in the first pour, you're going to have that. Maybe the second one, we got to get it warmed up. And the only thing I can think of is whatever ingot he got maybe had some of those pockets, and the water couldn't get out before it hardened up, so it got stuck in there, the vapor or whatever. Then when he dumped it in that lead, something like that. So I'm going to try next time I'm making ingots. I'm gonna take the pot off the fire and sit the muffin pan on there, or both of them, or whatever. Go ahead and get them hot, and then put the lead back on the heat and pour it in there after they're already preheated, which should get rid of any residual moisture or steam or water vapor or anything, because that's dangerous as hell. It's happened to me too. I was telling Willie, I still got lead going all the way up my 8-foot windows on the back porch. Scared the hell out of me.
Yeah, Eagle came to the same conclusion we did. To heat them muffin pans up, it might not do that. And you're right, Pastor. Georgia Boy 44 put in there that cast iron doesn't do that. Only Teflon coating does. And I think that after you do it, pour them ingots in there a couple of times, that Teflon coating is gone. But that's just my theory.
Well, mine's doing that with just the standard old style, what was in Granny's house, 10 muffin pans that you get at Goodwill. So I wouldn't even pour lead in Teflon. I don't know why. Well, it seems like a bad idea.
Well, it seems like the one I was using was a really thick aluminum, or I wouldn't have been using it for that. But that's just me. But yeah, I do have that. There's the Emperor is out there now, and a lot of other folks. We're up to 40. Thanks everybody for joining us tonight. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, if I could on that about the craters in the ingots, I've noticed that, like you said, only in the metal pans. On my aluminum pans, the little small ones, and those J's I got, those J pans I just made I just did an ingot. I think they're aluminum, and my craters are, I don't know if y'all can see that, very small.
Those J's kind of look like something else, Chico.
I heard somebody commented and said that. Especially if I put two of them together back to back. So I don't know. That's a whole nother chat though.
I was thinking that when I was watching you cast him. I'm like, where'd you get that mold?
Rick
It was
from
something
Here's Your
different.
Six Covered sent it to him.
Yeah, scrotum pants.
I got Kyle. He almost sprayed.
Give me 1 second.
Uh-oh, I'm sorry. I got Kyle too tickled there. I can't stand it when I get my giggle box turned over. Help me, Nathan. Help me, Nathan.
Well, I had a quick question in there that wasn't exactly quick. Kingpin asked why people powder coat their bullets. I'll say as a honey of a subject. I think we've gone over it a couple different times on some of the other forums. I'm sure we'll come back to it, but that is a very deep well of information and subject there. So, okay, cool. That was the answer you were looking for. Something simple. I don't recommend dick molds, Chico. What's wrong with you?
Hey, just wait till one of these show up in the mail to somebody you all may know.
When I first saw it, I commented, "You need an H and a U, and send me a J and a H, and send Uncle Jim a U and a J."
Man, that reminds me of my grandmother. When I was I was a teenager, and she loved a yard sale, and I went over to her house, and she was telling me about this new vase she got. She's very proud of it, very happy with it. She brought it in. It was a water bong. I'm like, yeah, that's not a vase, Mom. That's a water bong. She's like, what's that? Like, it's for smoking stuff. She's like, what? Swore up and down, thought it was a vase. Yep. Man.
Been there, done that, still toting the battle scars.
Yeah. Well, I hate to hear that about I hate to hear that Willie had some lead splatter. I saw kind of a post. I think it was on YouTube or something, or on the Facebooks. I don't remember, the other day from him. I thought it was interesting, but I didn't know about the lead splatter. That sucks.
Luckily, he didn't get hurt. It didn't break the window or anything like that. So we're mainly concerned with everybody's safety, which is what Willie's concerned and my concern is as well, is we don't want any of our brothers out there getting hurt. Our sisters, Miss Vanessa, I'm sorry. You gotta, and is Cap Gun out there? I don't think I've seen her yet.
Yeah, she was there earlier. I don't know if she's still lurking, but yeah, she's around. She hasn't been feeling good either, so it hasn't just been me. I think we've been passing it back and forth.
I'm so glad technology ain't got as advanced as like that. I can catch it right now. You know,
Yeah, I can't get
in the future. In the future,
computer.
we'll be passing lead ingots to each other, and but so that'll be good. Everybody's sick, yeah. But on Willie's video, I was thinking, I was wondering how that could happen, because the temperature of the lead, I would think it would evaporate or vaporize the water or whatever. Not saying it's not possible, but I was wondering how it got trapped in the ingot,
Well, that vapor's got to go somewhere, right, Chico?
Yeah.
So
and the lead weighs a lot. So
that's true, yeah. So it's got to go through it solidifies before it can make it out. Is that
it solidifies because the pan's so damn cold? Because when you have moisture on something, especially if you got humidity and you got humidity moisture on it, and the pan's cold, pretty much. So as soon as lead hits it, it solidifies, and it solidifies with that gaseous water, and then it cools off, and then the water turns back into water. And I'm sure that's what happened. And I hate it for him, man. That sucks.
And I think we need to be more conscious of it down here with the humidity that we have. We could have a pan sitting there that's cool, and when that heat hits it, it's going to create dew, kind of like on the windshields when we go out to work.
Condensation type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the word.
I mean, I don't use those kinds of pans usually, but I do when I get lead a lot of times that's in muffin. So I'm gonna have to start paying attention to that, because I've always using the the typical ingot forms, right, with the diagonal sides and all that stuff. I think they're built so that they don't do that.
Yeah.
So you telling me you don't have no pans like this? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, sir, I wouldn't say I've been dicking around, but I've been sticking with the factory style ingot.
For $4, I couldn't turn. You guys know I'm a deal seeker. For $4, I couldn't turn it down.
You're a cheap man. You're a cheap man. You guys kill me.
10, man.
I'm sorry, I have to approve that.
Not just that, Kyle gets back from getting choked up and Chico starts right in on it again.
That sounded wrong, brother.
Getting choked up on the dip pan.
No, Taylor, my son was in there getting dinner, and I chatted with him for a minute because he's got his head out of that iPad or an Xbox game or whatever, PlayStation game. I was talking with him, and we were sitting there eating pineapple and having father-son time. Thank you.
OP says, we have the ovens to warm our pans in. The only thing with that, OP, is I don't smelt indoors. I will cast indoors. I know other people that won't, but I will cast indoors, but I won't smelt indoors. So when we're doing smelting, it's usually the best bet's probably going to be just to throw the pan on top of the ledge and let it warm up. Or on top of the Dutch oven or whatever all you guys use.
Yeah, I was thinking just sit the Dutch oven off to the side. It ain't going to lose that much heat. And sit the pan right on top of the burner for 2 minutes, and that baby should be good and hot.
Nice. Appreciate that, James Pollard, keeping it real in the chat.
I was going to say, I think we all just read the same one.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you something I've been doing, and this is kind of off topic a little bit, but I've been watching, there's I get motivation out of this stuff in different ways. A young lady I found that has a YouTube channel where she's living in one of those stick-built houses on top of a trailer. And she's out in like Wyoming, up in the mountains. She's been living there for like 5 years by herself. She's like 31, 32 years old and just kind of off the grid and stuff like that. It's really interesting to kind of, she's got a lot of content out there. Watch how she gets through day to day, and it's been really neat. Something that I've just been have on the background when I'm working or building an agreement or doing something like that. So it's not just shooting videos and stuff, but smelt indoors. What the hell are you talking about, lady? Smelt with a T.
We got too many private jokes and stuff going around in here tonight, man. This is.
We just love it whenever we don't have a topic. It can go any which way.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, next week
this will be fun.
Next week we're gonna have a topic and a guest. This is getting off the rails, but it sure is fun, ain't it?
And it's really not been that non-PG rated. I mean, the side chat might be, but
PG-13. Come on now. Somebody brought them up in man.
How about NC-17?
Whoa, that's getting serious.
Is that still a rating?
I think so. I don't know, man. I know it was when I was a kid, but
they had just come out with that when I turned 13, I think. And I was like, damn it.
Yeah. Now, what's funny is I don't like rarely did I remember ever seeing an NC-17 movie in the movie theater. I think it was like something that they would do to threaten an R-rated movie that had gone a little too far.
Yeah.
Like you and I, like remember Jade? I think that was NC-17 when it first came out. With the asshole, the guy with the glasses. I can't remember his name.
Hey guys, I think Big Man Outdoors has a question, and it says, "What shape can you cast with lead?" I believe he's saying something about the preferred shape ingot molds.
I prefer anything stackable. So
Yes.
yeah, I like those little triangle. My dad has one that's really cool because it's a little bit tighter. The Lyman one's a little wide. His is really good because you can tack it in really nice and tight. But yeah, I like the little pyramid ones.
I
Yeah.
went with the big muffins because if you take a normal milk crate, like you can find them all over the place. Of course, somebody stole them from a Golden Gallon, but just a regular milk crate. The muffin tins, you can stack them up, line them up, do them all nice and pretty. Let your OCD get the better of you. When you get it all the way to the top, that's 500 pounds.
I also have the milk crates that my lid is stacking. I've got the miniature muffins and the big muffins like Kyle was talking about. And I even have a Lee mold, ingot mold, but it's like you guys know the shape. But I was looking into the NOE molds, but they're so dang expensive, man. But they're kind of more squared off. I think that's got real good stackability, if that's a word, if you guys
It is now.
yeah, I coined that. I'm gonna have to patent that. But
Fuzz had a really good video out where he melted his down. He used old, I think it was almost like cake pans or something. They were, bricks about like that. And I figured you just take one brick, stick it in the pot, plug it in, walk away. It'll just melt down, fill out, and there you go. Because he said they were about 15 to 18 pounds, I think.
Yeah, I'm trying to think that kind of opens the door up for a lot of different things, doesn't it?
yeah, and he didn't reply back, so I don't know. I don't know if that was his question, but that's what it looked like to me. I think that's what his question was. Sorry, big man.
Hey, Fuzz, how much do your bread pan ingots weigh?
Some of the stuff Fuzz says I just love. You were talking to a cast iron lead pot and a ladle guy. Yeah, that's the way you do that. No sense, churching it all up.
20-pound bricks, Georgia.
Yeah,
boy.
Georgia boy said they're 20-pound bricks. So one brick equals one full pot. I guess you got to make sure the pot's empty when you start, huh?
And my pot's never empty, ever.
Mine either.
Not all the way, no.
I've never emptied. Well, I don't think I've ever emptied any of my pods.
I've only emptied mine when I thought I had zinc in it, and cleaned the crap out of it, and found out that maybe it wasn't.
Yeah. Cast iron is good. I just hate to waste cast iron on anything. I don't know, but then again, I've never tried to make muffins in a cast iron pan, so I don't know.
That was me. What I'm melting my lead in now, I had to cook a meal in first. Because I just can't take it straight from the box and pour lead in it. I can't do that. That's against my religion.
Yeah.
So
it's like a waste of like an unbelievable resource.
I made some enchiladas or something in it. It was just perfect for me and the kids. Perfect size, all that. I went right back to Amazon, spent another $18 and ordered another one.
$18.
Oh, it was cheap as crap. Yeah, that's why I bought it.
On Prime? So it was free shipping?
Yes, and now
Amazon.
I have two.
Yeah, I got the same one.
Yeah, I showed Chico. Actually, Chico, the deal seeker, sought it out. I found it cheaper on Amazon with free shipping.
But see, okay, in my defense, when I buy stuff, I'm looking at reviews. So the one I bought was $1 higher than the one he bought, but mine had like 40 reviews and his had like one review, and I was like,
but it was the same pot.
It was the same one. That's exactly correct.
Yeah, I bought another one to cook in. I love it. It is the perfect size, and it's totally set up for outdoor cooking. It's got the rimmed lid and all that. So,
Meg says he just got into cooking in cast iron after a couple months of use. Never contemplate putting lead in it. That's my thing, man. I don't know. But then again, I guess I've got I know Kyle's this way too, but I got kind of a fancy for the old ways of doing stuff. So I don't know. Maybe I hold that stuff in too high esteem. I bought my first Teflon pan in years. Like
No.
a couple months ago. First one I've had in like a long time.
As
feel a little
Uncle,
different.
no, bad, no.
I know.
You're like, this is light. You was lifting it up like this is lighter than that cast iron.
Yeah, it's light, man. I could throw an egg in there and just like, this thing's great.
I do dang, and Jamie can tell you, I do dang near every bit of my cooking in cast iron. And if you use it a lot, which means you wash it and season it a lot, it doesn't take long for that thing to get slick as a ribbon.
Well, most of all of my cast iron has been damaged, and that I think that causes it to be a little bit more persnickety. And I didn't feel like taking and going and getting it like sandblasted or something. So what I did was I scraped and went after it, and the best I could, and then re-seasoned on top of it. And so it's not as smooth as it could be.
Now, so you've got a bunch of crap on the outside and all that?
Oh well, yeah. I mean, because they're old. I've had them for years and years and years.
Okay,
I've had them
all
for.
right. Listen to me. Here now we can have our cast iron Wednesday on Friday. Now, you got a fireplace?
No.
Are
You want to come and build me one? What?
Are you able to burn outside?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay, next time you're burning brush or something like that, get a big bed of coals, okay? Throw the skillet in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
Let it get just hotter than anything. All that cooked on stuff will fall off. Now, you may need a crane or something to get the skillet out, because I don't know if you can get enough of a Kevlar glove to grab it. But it will, all that stuff will cook off. It will de-season the pan totally.
Okay.
All that stuff will fall off. Then you start from scratch. Wash it out real good after it cools off. Do not do anything to it while it's that hot. Wash it off real good, because there'll be a little bit of ash residue or something like that. Wash it off real good. Warm it up on the stove. Rub it down with Crisco or lard or whatever.
Yeah, re-season it.
Then put it in the oven, and you'll probably have to repeat that process 2 or 3 times. Then fry some potatoes in it, and you're done. That thing's as good as it was the day it was cast.
That's a good idea. I didn't think about heat.
Yeah,
heat will definitely do that.
Falls off.
That makes sense. We used to do that with cylinder heads and such.
I've done it on several skillets. I've got a bunch of my grandma.
Well, hello there.
Oh, what? Who was that?
We have a child somewhere. I heard it.
I know.
She's got Easter egg Oreos.
Oh, that's a thing that happened.
Rigby's here.
Rigby's here.
Yeah, Meg. Yeah, I have quenched cast before, but not when it's super hot. Oh.
Show 'em your Oreo.
So Kyle, hey Rigby.
It's got purple icing in the middle, y'all.
Oh.
That's a thing.
Oh Lord.
Go ahead.
So Kyle, question out there from Coach Brothers Firearms: the best way to season that cast iron is what?
Lard.
Brand new? Are we talking just after you washed it, or what?
Give both scenarios.
If it's brand new, if it's got that pre-seasoned stuff on there, it's all wrinkly and stuff. Just sand that off with some sandpaper. Get it back down to the metal. Then what I would do, because that'll give you a smooth surface. Smooth means non-stick. So that'll give you a smooth surface. Then wash it real good. And we'll go over another little tip too. Just coat it in Crisco or something like that. Set your oven on 200. Turn it upside down. Put it in the oven with some tinfoil under it to catch it, so you don't start a fire when the Crisco starts going. But let it cool off naturally on its own. Check it if you got a grease film on it. Warm it back up. Let it cool off on its own. Just do that a couple of times if you have to add some more grease, because that iron's going to suck that grease up, which is good. That's what you want. If it's still greasy, warm it back up, and you want to cook it for about 2 hours, and then let it cool back down to room temperature naturally. Now, if it's rusty, there's a couple of ways you can do it. The way I do it, I put it in the sandblasting cabinet and sandblast it and start over. But you can take coarse kosher salt, put in there in just a rag, and just start rubbing, and it'll eventually get it all out. And I've even used because I've had some pans that got too hot while camping and stuff like that, left them out and they got rained on, and the next morning they had rust in them because we cooked all the oil out of them. You can take sand and rub in there or anything kind of gritty, and then just start the process over again. It's a little harder to do when you're out in the woods, but it's really easy in the kitchen. And it doesn't take any effort. It just takes some time. That's all it is. Yeah, Fuzzy's right. 200 degrees in the oven. Just coat them down. Don't slather them down. Just put a little coating on there and let them cook. But when they cool off, take them out. Look at them. Does it need more? You're the judge of that. If it needs more, put some more in there and do it again. That's all you got to do. Chico, you've been to my house.
Yeah, you got stuff everywhere. Hey, did you guys see MCK's video with his new cast iron pot? That's a deal. I was all over that. $5 for that little smelting pot.
I didn't see that.
The same day I smelt it.
I must have been too busy watching yours.
I'm sorry. Yeah, he was smelting he uploaded a video the same day I smelt it, and he said he got it from, I guess it was a flea market, $5 for a nice little smelting pot. Nice, deep.
Oh, Fuzz has got the nicest smelting pot. Y'all seen that one? Of course, you need a 3-ton overhead hoist to get it up off the fire.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, I was like, if you ever want to get rid of that, I'll pay the shipping. I want that.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to pay that shipping. That's going to be...
How do you clean it after use? Okay, it's real simple. Never, ever, ever use soap. You can if you really feel the need to, but in my mind, never do it. Because if the iron gets hot, it'll suck up the soap flavor, and the next time you make bacon, you'll have soapy flavored bacon. You just get it warm. This is going to sound kind of weird. If you got a bunch of stuck on, like you've been frying chicken and it's all stuck and burnt and all that stuff, get the skillet back hot. I know it. Take a beer, sacrifice half of it, pour it right in there. All that stuff will come straight off. Then just rinse it under hot water, get all the other stuff out of it, wipe it down with I've got a rag soaked in, let's see, it used to be olive oil. I think it's moved to avocado oil now. Just wipe it down where it's nice and, put it on the burner, get it hot and dry. It's going to need to be hot so it'll accept the oil. Then just wipe it down, sit it on the burner that's not on, and walk away. That's all you got to do.
I've done similar with water. No beer. Just put some water in the pan and let it come to a boil. It'll take everything that's on it off, and it'll kill everything. And done.
Right. If it's really stuck on, something about the alcohol it can permeate better than the water. It'll get under it better or something. And once it flashes off, it lifts it right up off the steel.
Yeah, worst case scenario in that situation, a little bit of white vinegar could probably go a long way too.
Yeah, well, yeah, that makes sense. But God Almighty, that would probably stink.
Man, I've been surprised about that because I've been doing a little bit of experimentation with white vinegar lately, and using white vinegar in a diluted solution as kind of a cleaner seems to be extraordinarily effective.
Yeah, I use I use white vinegar and Dawn dish soap. You talk about a shower cleaner, woo! It'll get that stuff right off.
Well, I got really impressed with white vinegar when I was cleaning the tank out in my motorcycle, and I knew that white vinegar will eat rust. But what I didn't know is that shit would eat the aluminum housing that was on the petcock. It actually ate the whole thing away. I'm like, man, that stuff's caustic. So
Yeah.
now I found a use for
Oh,
it.
good.
Yep, it just straight up just dissolved the aluminum.
Wow.
Yeah, I see Michael, and I think OP said something too. Yeah. OP said it shouldn't, if it's properly seasoned, it should not have to be washed with soap. Right. And then Michael made a very good point. Tomato-based sauces, when they get hot, will start stripping the seasoning off of the pot because of their acidity.
Yeah.
And he is correct. So I mean, you got to be kind of careful with that.
Southern
But,
Style 357 says that he wants to make sure that we're not eating and cooking out of the same pot. Well, in fact, I just put a rack over top of my smelting pot while I'm smelting and just no, man, you don't do that.
That's
where
how I
we fry
smoke
the
my
bacon.
potatoes.
That's how I
All my
smoke.
vegetables.
That's where we get the flux from, man. You cook bacon on top of the lid.
Yeah, there you go. Damn, man.
And no, none of us are serious at this point in time. No.
No.
That's like I said. That's why I bought another one of those Dutch ovens, because I knew I was never cooking in that one again.
Where's my? Oh, there it is.
I found a little Dutch oven on Amazon the other day. It's just a little round one, like 2 quarts, and it's a flat bottom. Got a lid that goes on it, like $15. I'm thinking about ordering that for smelting down into ingots.
How big around is it, Jamie?
Well, it holds 2 quarts.
2 quarts.
Be a good bean pot.
No, I'll send you a link to Amazon. Are you a Prime member?
No.
Okay. I'll send you a link to Amazon. If you want it, I'll order it. That way it's free shipping.
Okay.
What me and Chico, hang on a minute. Good Lord.
He's gonna go get it.
I think the one Cal and I got is 6 quarts. It's either 6 quart or 8 quart. And I'm about to find out right now. I'm pulling up my Amazon account because I forgot which one I bought. But
Yeah,
I know it's a
quart to me is a bean pot. That's relatively small.
Yeah, and Georgia Boy said that he's got one, and that's the reason I wanted it, was because it's small.
Mm-hmm. Easy to get up the temp.
Easy to get up the temp. It's going to melt the lead quicker. I can get it. I'll be able to pick it up and pour it when I get it down to the bottom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get all that lead out.
Yeah.
This is what me and Chico are using. It's a 10-inch Camp Chef Dutch oven. It'll probably hold 4 quarts. What do you think, Chico? 3.5 to 4 quarts?
I think it's 6.
And it sits right on the turkey fryer, and you're good to go. I loved it so much I had to buy another one, because that's the one I first cooked in that I was going to melt lead in. And I said, no, I can't do that. So I bought another one. Then I made something else in it before I started melting lead in it.
Yeah, it's a good little pot.
Yeah, Vanessa, I've got 12-inch Dutch ovens and 5 and 7 quarts and all that stuff. But this one's actually got the feed on it, so it'll actually slide down into your turkey fryer, and you don't have to worry about it moving at all.
And I have seen these little lineman pots that are probably no more than that big around and about that tall. That would be pretty cool. You could do that with a campfire. But let me see if I can get over here and.
Michael, you may be right. That might be about 8 quarts. I don't think it's 2 gallons. It may be 6. It's not a 10-inch deep. It's a 10-inch shallow.
You can tell I ordered too much stuff on Amazon because I'm just scrolling through my past orders. Like, where that pot at that I bought?
All right, let me see if I can get a picture here. wanting to show y'all my upgrades Mig sent me.
Cool.
Meg's good at upgrades.
Yeah.
There we go. See the thing on the bottom and pull a little tray out, dump your primers.
That is amazing. I wish I had something like that for this little classic press over here. That really ticks me off. I move the vice grips, primers hit the floor. I'm like, damn it.
And this thing right here kind of forms around the ram so that the primers have no alternative but to go down in there. So that's really cool, man.
That is killer.
That boy uses his head for something beside a hat rack, man.
I'm telling you.
I got some more stuff too. Hold on a minute. Of course, y'all saw it all. You've seen the video.
Yeah, I'm always amazed to see all that stuff that he makes and to see when people do unboxings of his. I'm like, man, that's cool. So yeah, it's awesome, that stuff, that just the creativity, the items you can make is limitless almost.
Yeah, he makes
Don't make any lowers. Don't make any lowers.
V-Borg showed up. What's up? What's going on, brother?
Hey, V-Borg.
Do what?
I don't know how many of y'all trim cases with the Lee case gauge thing, but the cutter, this is the cutter. So it has the edge right there, and then you screw the case gauge into there, and then you stick the brass on it like that, and then it trims it. Well, he sent me this knob, so there that is with the cutter in it.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's much more ergonomic. Then if you don't put the stud thing in the drill, he sent me this little handle so I can sit there watching TV and go like that and drive my wife crazy while we're watching TV at night.
Sounds like a bunch of crickets in the living room, don't it?
But Mig comes up with some good stuff, and bro, I can't thank you enough for that stuff. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, that is pretty daggum awesome. I haven't seen that one before. Michael Stein says we ought to do a video eventually of our reload setup. I've done a few. I think Jamie's done one. Kyle uses vice grips, so it's not really a setup. And Chico's in a dungeon, so we'll see how we work out.
Well, mine's very quick change. What I have yet to do is make the permanent quick change thing, because I got to using vice grips and went, you know what? I don't need to buy the inline fabrication quick change mounts and all that stuff.
Good enough. Man, that's the key. Man, figure out what works for you. That is the key to setting up your reloading bench. Just if it works for you, then you're good.
Well, I would do another one on mine because I've moved since I did that was in my intro video, the very first video I did by myself, I believe, first or second one. And I've moved all my stuff to my house now, and I'm fixing to make another addition to a big old honking bench. So I probably need to hold off for a few weeks to do one, but I do intend to do one for Michael because he's one of those guys that are wanting to get started into reloading, which kind of takes us into the other subject. Are y'all ready to talk about that now?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I got children beckoning. I'll be right back.
All
Good
right.
job on the segue, Bros. I appreciate that. Where's my?
For real, you like that?
That was good stuff.
Well,
Like we planned it.
yeah, and it's about the time I had planned. Kyle is gone right now, but we'll fill him in when he gets back. But we're doing on the Reloaders Network is giving away a press kit, and the Scotsman is in charge of all this. One of his subscribers donated the kit, and it's to go to somebody who is thinking about getting into reloading, and the expense is kind of messing with their brain. They don't really know what to go get, and it's a Scotsman. Tell me if I'm right or wrong, but it's a Lee 50th anniversary press kit. Is that correct? I think so.
Sounds right.
But at any rate, you've got to enter this drawing. You have to go to the Reloaders Network, watch the Scotsman's video on the press kit giveaway, and make a comment. Say, hey, I'm in. That'll get you one entry. If you do a VR, you'll get 5 more entries. Is that right, Kyle?
I do believe it is.
So, yeah, Scotsman will tell us. Y'all keep watching the comments. I think a VR will get you 5 additional entries. Instagram comment will get you another, maybe 2 more. So I think he said that you can have a total of 8 entries.
Yeah, it was either 2 or 3 on Instagram. I've done a VR and Instagram, and liked his video because me, like most of you guys, if we end up winning it, we're gonna pay it forward to somebody else that's looking into getting into reloading. We're just throwing our name in the hat for an extra chance. So,
And I'll be honest, I haven't even put in for it because I like somebody else to win it. I don't even want to take it away from anybody. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just how I feel about it. I haven't even put in even to pay it forward because I don't want nobody to be like, well, you were cool with him already. I'll just like, because the less people put in, it I'm be excited whoever wins it, and they're probably gonna get something from me. So whether it be something dealing with reloading, some candy pills or something like that,
they're gonna get something from all of us, brother.
Right.
You know that.
Yeah, I know that. I'm not. So look, that gives you a chance that the deal seeker's not jumping in on it. So make sure you go over there to the Reloaders Network and y'all put in for it. He commented earlier. What did he say? 41's already put in for it.
Yeah, 41 entries so far. So you still got time. The deadline is the end of this month, which is next Thursday. So if you'll go and make a comment on the Scotsman's video before midnight next Thursday, which today's Friday, so you got less than a week.
Cranky.
So, yeah, you like that math, huh?
No, I'm laughing at Cranky.
Yeah,
I'm laughing at Kenny.
Yeah, just yeah, go get it. Go get yourself entered into this drawing, especially you guys that are teeter-tottering and don't want to think about the expenses. If I win, I've got 3 or 4 people in mind that I would pay it forward to, and some of them do videos, some of them don't. So it would be.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Whoever wins, I'm gonna be real excited for them, especially if they're right on the edge of not reloading. If they're on the edge of the building, like I want to do it, but this really just helped me totally. And they're probably gonna be like, I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. And that's how I felt. I was like, I should have been doing this like 5 years ago. Like as much as ammo as I bought. Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm excited for whoever wins.
I am too. But let me tell you what I'm most excited about. Friday night, March the 8th, right here on our show, the Scotsman is going to be doing the drawing live at 9 o'clock, which is 2 weeks from today. Right now, 2 weeks from right now, it's straight up 9 o'clock. Scotsman's going to be on with us that night, and he's going to do the drawing to give the press away. And we're going to have it live and in living color right here on the Georgia Shooters Connection. And it'll go live to the Reloaders Network probably whenever Nathan gets around to putting it up. You pretty much do that right away, don't you, Nathan?
Yes, sir.
So it'll be live on the Reloaders Network by the next morning, I'm sure, or sometime the next day.
It'll be live right after we're done, or it'll be available right after we're done. But yeah, it's going to be cool, man. I'm looking forward to it.
And I think Scotsman was wanting to bring on a guest or two himself, so I forgot.
Yeah, it'll be a full house.
Yeah, but that's a big occasion, big deal. We're just honored to be part of it.
It's glad to be part of the game, so they say. Whoever they are.
How much lead could you get in a 1 quart pot? This one right here almost look like it'll be perfect for pouring, Jamie. I know my light kind of sucks. Sorry.
That's the exact same one that I was looking at, except for I was looking at the 2 quart size instead of the 1 quart size. This bottle of water right here
is a quart.
Is 1 quart and 1.8 ounces. So, yeah, not very much.
Right.
The thing I was looking at is with the 2 quart, it would still be light enough to pick it up and pour it.
Yeah.
At the end.
And you know what? I'll tell you, and I don't know if I've ever said this on any of my casting videos. Well, the first time I casted, and I had my ladle, it was a big shock when I dipped that ladle in there. And I was like, damn, that ladle's heavy. That ladle's heavy. Why that ladle so heavy? And I was like, oh, it's lead, duh, So
right.
that was, I'm always, you got a ladle that weighs a couple ounces, and then when you put it in that and you get whatever it is, you get that lead in there, you almost got a 2-hand that ladle up out of there. So, yeah, that was random. I'm sorry, y'all know I'm random sometimes. But I can see the pot you picking it up, making it a lot easier.
Hey, Scotsman, Michael Sines has got a lot of questions over here on entering the giveaway. He wants to know if he needs to post his VR on the Reloaders Network or just VR make a VR on YouTube and post it to your original video, I think is the way it works.
Yeah, he needs to put a link to his VR in the comments of Scotsman's video on the Reloaders Network.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go, Michael.
So I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be fun.
It's going to be exciting. We're going to have drum rolls and everything.
That's how we judge excitement around here. By the amount of drum rolls we have. Oh man, that's awesome! I'm planning on getting one of them baton twirlers and such.
Oh yeah,
that's Can I be the guy at the front with the funky hat that just takes a stick and does this?
Yeah, him. Hey, but you know what though? I gotta have the. I have the most respect, I think, for the baton twirlers at college football games. I'm not talking about Division I type. But I mean, when you get to Division II baton twirlers, they're out front and center, and they're all incompetent. None of them are good at it, but they always come out there and they drop it, hit themselves in the head with it. It's just hilarious, week after week.
Yeah, but none of them have black eyes. That's because they're never looking for it.
Yeah. Dude,
no, that's because
I've been going to football games, local college football games now for about 10 years. And every year, the baton twirler is bad at it. Not good. Drops that thing more than she holds on to it. And it's always a different one. It just amazes me. Just amazes me to keep going out there like that.
I think the reason they don't have black eyes is because they have a really good makeup.
Yeah, exactly. They have good makeup. Oh man. Shoulder's been bugging me lately.
And you know what? I'm gonna ask Scotsman, and I should have typed it, but I'll ask him because I know he's out there listening. So he says 41 entries. Is that 41 individuals or 41? Because it's you can get 8 entries per one person can get 8 entries.
Yeah, the Scotsman will have to answer that because I don't know. Looks like JCM 45 showed up. We've got 42 out there. Nathan, you want to run them down?
I can do that. So we got Miss Vanessa Kitty from up there in the illustrious Northeast. JCM 45. Mig. PC Bullet Empire. Glad you could show up, Emperor. Buzz to Fork 8. Eagle Eye Shooting. James Pollard. The Crazy Scotsman. He says 41 people. He still needs to add up the entries, so that's good to know. Georgia 444, our brother from up north there. Brody 556, thanks for coming. Cranky Cletus. Glad to see you, man. I know people have been kind of advocating to get you back around. I'm sure you've been busy. You've been busy with work. I kind of appreciate that and respect it. It's sometimes that's the way it goes. Michael Sons, thanks for coming. Tread, I think he's come in and he just came in. I thought he was coming out. So, hey, Tread, how's it going, brother? Oh, Big Man Outdoors. Appreciate you coming, Coach Brother Firearms. V-Borg, glad you can make it, brother. Armament Axis, Floyd Hicks, Hill Climb, Ohio, JB. And go up here just a little bit more. I'm sure I'm going to catch somebody else here. Willie Bullet Man, Uncle Jim, Uncle John was on. Daniel God is my judge was on. OP25 TTFD. Thanks for coming out. I don't know if I said Mig, so I'll say Mig again. Guys, everybody, I really do appreciate it. I mean, we got, 45 people on. I appreciate everybody coming and watching. But I really like getting the interaction with you guys in the side chat. Asking questions, seeing what's going on. It's just kind of a chance to sit here and BS with my 45, 6, 7, 8 of my closest friends. I had to use my toes for that. But I do appreciate everybody showing up for sure. It's darker in here today.
Loaded Cap Gun, does he have his shoes off? Yes or no?
No. She's not here right now. She's at her place.
Oh, she's on location.
But she's here, and she was here in the side chat. Well, Cranky, the explanation of this is there's a guy that I've been watching YouTube channel I've been watching for some time. He's a relatively young guy, and his entire life is that he doesn't want to ever have a job where he has to work for another human. So he does furniture work. He's buying and selling houses. He's like 22, 23, 24 maybe. Hell, he's probably older now. He's been at it for a little while. I've been watching his videos for a long time, and one of the things he has is he has these shirts, and I just like the design, and I wanted to support him, so I bought one. And now that I know that they fit, I'm probably going to buy a couple more. I really like them. They're comfortable, too. So it's the Homestead Craftsman, if you're interested. He has another channel called Homestead Home where he goes and does home renovations for things that he's going to rent out. The dog. Yeah, the dog is, of course, right here. Loaded Cap Gun's telling me on that. She's only stunk me out 2 or 3 times so far. Bless her heart. That dog, whew, but she's got to be right here.
Where you feed that dog?
Man, I have went through so many different foods over the years, and what I've got right now that seems to be the best is there's an Iams, like mature adult thing. The latest bag I got, the kernels are a little bit bigger ones. I like the smaller kernels, and that does the best for her. She seems to have less desire to go and eat things she shouldn't eat, and less desire to, or less need to carpet bomb the whole house all the time. Which books should I purchase, Vanessa? If you're talking about reloading books, I have a hit list on that. Lyman is one of my first ones, especially if you're gonna do any casting. Hornady book, the Lyman cast bullet handbook, the Lyman pistol book, Hornady book, the Sierra book. I go with
A lot of what you're talking about depends on the bullet type.
exactly.
The Hornady reloading manual deals strictly with Hornady bullets. If you're casting, go with this is the 49th edition. It's well worn. The 50th edition is around here somewhere, and I don't see it right now. It's got cast bullets. It's got multiple makers bullets. The Sierra bullet handbook's going to have Sierra. Just go with a Lyman or a Lee. It's always good to have at least two sources. It's always good to have at least two sources for info. But if you go with bullet-specific manufacturers, like the Hornady is just Hornady bullets, just Hornady cast available bullets that you have to buy from Hornady. The Sierra stuff is Sierra specific.
Well, yeah, but man, look, it depends on what you're doing, right? If you're doing handgun stuff, you're doing cast.
You can get comparable ideas.
Yeah. I tend to not recommend using the Lee book for reloading data. Use it for reference. But yeah, the Lyman book is really, really good, especially if you're going to do casting. If you're going to use Hornady bullets, I love the Hornady manual. I've always loved them. I thought they were great manuals.
If you're gonna reload Hornady store-bought projectiles, there is a crap ton of information in that Hornady book that you're not going to find anywhere else.
Yeah, especially with some of their new fancy bullets.
It really helped me out because I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn standing in the bastard, and then read the Hornady book and went, oh. And once I changed the overall length and everything else to what Hornady said, that was it's an onion splitter. So
I've got this one, the Lyman Cast Bullet Handbook. I've got the Lee book because it came with my press kit, and I've found the front of this book is really good. I mean, really. Like Nathan said, and like Cranky said, the data is iffy. Oh, and he pulled an Elvis. Uh-oh. I got this one. This is my favorite. This one stays open like all the time on my bench. It's the Lyman 50th edition.
That's what I was looking for, Jamie. I can't find mine.
And
here.
And of course, Kyle and I both picked up this little pamphlet from Shooter's World Powders. And Cranky said out there too, I think it was Cranky, said that there's a lot of data available online. So if you're wanting to use a Hodgdon powder, you can go to their website and find load specific data for those powders. Then you can go to the bullet manufacturers like Sierra and get, I love Sierra bullets, especially for my hunting loads in 30-06. But you can get data from there. I think he said loaddata.com was one. Be careful, though. A lot of these load data websites that are not to do with a manufacturer, they charge you a fee. So you'll have to be careful with that. I'm not paying for my load data if I don't have to.
Another website that anybody can use that has a lot of useful tools off on the side, on the right-hand side, there's all kinds of calculators, whether it be bullet cost calculator, effective energy, power force. I mean, there's all kinds of calculators on the side. And that website is handloads.com.
Mm-hmm.
Plural. Handloads.com. And like Jamie was just saying, go to hodgdonpowder.com. I think that there's a variety of bullets you can select. You can select whatever powder. That they've got it narrowed down where they'll give you like 4 or 5 different loads for you to use with the most recommended powders. You pick whether it's Hodgdon IMR or what's the other one? Help me.
Accurate.
Winchester.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're all the same powder.
It's Hodgdon IMR or Winchester.
Yeah.
Tell me they're all the same manufacturer. You can pick your powder and all that stuff in your bullet, and it'll give you 4 or 5 different loads for that particular bullet design and weight. It's just I've got it saved on my cell phone. It just click, and maybe, and then you compare that with, like Scotsman said, a couple other venues for information, and just start from there, and sky's the limit.
Yeah, there's Meg said that maybe she's looking for a good romance novel, and that just tickled me good. There's a lot of different manuals. I like the Accurate Arms manual. I think it's really good, but I have a tendency to kind of go with powders and bullets for my manuals and my load data. The Lee does have some really good information. There's the caliber specific manuals that are really, really good, and they're pulling data from a lot of different places. So
that is true. These right here.
Yep.
Those are very valuable. They're definitely worth what you pay for them.
Yeah. Southern Style 357's man of my own heart. He says he's like 95% lineman. That's the good stuff. Especially the slightly older stuff.
One thing I like about this, the caliper specific ones, when everybody was going through all their and I have all those manuals that they have, like all the ones Jamie said, the Lineman, the Lee, the Cass one, and what's the first one I bought? The first one I bought was the Hornady with the X, the 10th edition. But this book caliber is for 45 right here, and it's got 6 different bullet manufacturers in here, and 7 different powders. So, but that's only for 45. So,
one thing that we were asked specifically, Jeremy Gunslinger asked about Trail Boss and 45 Colt. If you go onto Hodgdon's website, they actually have load data for Trail Boss in 45 Colt. However, there is generalized Trail Boss load data, and if you follow the procedures for loading that, you're going to be safe. And what I said I just replied to you quickly: do not compress Trail Boss. That's one of the primary rules of Trail Boss. Don't break the donuts. If you don't break the donuts, you're probably going to be all right. Now, I do a reduction. I don't just fill the case up to the tippy top that I can, but take and seat your bullet, or at least measure out your bullet, see what your depth is going to be. Take your Trail Boss, fill your case up to that level, weigh it, then take a reduction off of that, and then you can work your load up. That's the general rule for doing a Trail Boss load with an unknown situation. Now, like I said, there is a load available on Hodgdon's website, which is what I first started using, which I don't remember what the hell my load is now. I got it written down in my box. I've been shooting 255 grain Keith style 45 Colt and my revolver for years now with the load that was out of the Hodgdon. It was actually relatively light, and it seems to love it though. So,
can I throw my 2 cents worth in on
all
that?
8 cents of that worth there, boss.
Cut a top of an Amazon box off. Measure your case. Measure your bullet. Determine where it's going to be there. Now, that piece of the Amazon box, take a 45 Colt case, turn it upside down, cut you a widget out of it, Now, fill it up with powder and take your calipers and measure down into the case with the cardboard on top. That cardboard is your buffer zone. There's plenty of room right there. You're not going to break the donuts. I would back off just a hair from that. Once the cardboard's touching or measuring where the bullet would be sitting, I'd back off just a little bit of that and start from there and work up. Yeah, if you want to work up to max, go ahead. I don't think you'll need to, but use the cardboard off of Amazon box is a great buffer tool, and you can use your case to cut it out. You'll have a perfectly sized little cardboard circle.
Are you trying to say make a wad out of a piece of cardboard?
Use that as a buffer. Yeah.
Okay.
It'll give you the space that you want, because
I know I see what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you don't want to break the donuts, but then again, once you're packing a bullet in there, you don't know if you broke the donuts or not. So use the cardboard.
Yeah, and hell, if you're going to use a non-coated bullet, leave the wad in there.
Right.
Tread, glad you could come by, brother. I appreciate it, and glad you're able to get back to work, man. Yeah, the warm weather is crazy. It's in the 80s here. It's absurd. I hear somebody asking for an iPad.
Yeah. Hey, you been playing iPad all day?
Yes.
You want to say hello? Look.
Hello.
Come over here. So
Hello, how are you doing?
Look.
Hello.
Look, you got to
Hey,
come
Carter. How you doing, buddy?
Hello.
Hey,
Hi, buddy. How are you?
you want to do some brass prep?
Yeah.
Come on.
Hello.
Maybe later, all right? Go upstairs and watch TV.
Don't ask download.
Don't ask to download nothing unless it's some loading manuals.
Yes.
Okay?
Football 19.
Huh?
Football 19.
No. Casting information.
Already.
Go upstairs and watch TV.
Already.
I see you.
Some games.
All right. I love you. All right, buddy.
Play some games. Alright, play some games.
Well,
Bye, games.
Carter, Jeremy Gunslinger. I think he's pretty new to our stream, and if you guys want to give him a sub, he's got some videos out there. So.
Got it. I'm on it, boss. And you know what? If I could, I know a lot of you guys don't know who I am, but look, I made a shout out video today in hopes that at least 2 or 3 of the people that I shouted out will make another video. That's kind of why I did it. But I think, like, for me, when someone in the past had did a shout out video with me, I think one time Insight did one with me and Kyle on it. A shout out video, and I was like, I gotta make some more videos because he's shouting me out. I kind of felt compelled to, because people was like, who is Chico? But yeah, so I shout out James Pollard, Eddie B, and another guy I kind of just ran across his channel for about a month now, Rob D NY Outcast. I think he's been in our chat before, and so in hopes that they would probably upload some stuff, but so yeah, but I just gave Jared, you said Jeremy Gunslinger 49 subscribers. I'm 50, brother. Just subscribe to him.
Michael Signs asks us, should there be or shouldn't there be any space between the bullet and the powder? Well, that depends a lot on the load, the type of powder, everything. But when we were talking about 45 Colt, yeah, there should be a little bit of space if you're using Trail Boss. Don't want to compress it, no matter what you do, because you break the donuts and that powder acts berserk.
Yeah, Trail Boss is definitely a different animal.
The shape of the powder, and that's something. And what's funny is it's actually not different to Trail Boss. It's just a different way of doing it. The shape of the powder has a huge impact on the way it burns. And if you ever look into, if you read the manuals on the way that they make, smokeless powder, everything else, it'll explain itself. So when they did the donuts, they were able to find a powder that'll burn nice and relatively quick, but not out of hand fast, and can fill up that case and make a lot of case capacity and stuff like that. And it's great for what it worked for, which is damn near everything. It's super consistent. But if you break those donuts and you change the shape of that powder, it can get hairy quick. Oh boy, yeah, I know, dude. I'm totally with you, Chico. I remember when I quit the first time I kind of quit making videos. It was Loads of Bacon that shouted me out, and all of a sudden, like one day, I'm watching TV and my phone just starts going bing, bing, just blowing up.
Right.
What the hell is that? And it's like I got like 20 subscribers just off of Loads of Bacon saying something. So I was just like, damn,
I gotta make a
make
video.
videos.
Loads of Bacon is terrible about getting people started on YouTube.
Well, it's funny because I'm one of those guys that Johnny got me started, and then Loads of Bacon's the one that kept me going because I had basically given up. But
I mean,
Yeah, because
I've been commenting
I've
on
said
you
it
guys'
before.
vehicles. Where the hell did that come from? Commenting on you guys' videos for years, and Bacon's like, "That's it. Make a video." Like, what? What are you talking about? I don't make videos. Start. I was like, on what? He goes, "Hell, it doesn't matter. Just make one."
yep, ain't that the case?
Where we're
man?
at.
Oh,
Then the first time I met Kyle, what comes out of his mouth? You got to make videos.
good at it, man.
Well, I'd already made a few of them, and you were commenting on them and all that stuff. I'm like, hell, it worked for Bacon. I gotta. All right, why ain't you making video?
And Brody 556 was saying that the Emperor did a shout out to him once and got him a big boost. And well, he said something else, but so, and that's where I found Brody 556. I like him and I like his stuff, but he's a rural kind of guy. I won't say a country boy like me and Tim, but he kind of is. If you can be he's. I probably done said more than I should, but I like him because I feel like we come from the same place. If that makes any sense. And I shouted out OP a couple of times. And OP, I'm still waiting on well, you probably can't do that. Never mind. I did the winter versus summer carry video, and I shouted out two guys that probably can't afford to be responding to that particular video. Being OP's a fireman and NYC's up in NYC, so it kind of
that was kind of poorly thought out, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
I don't know how poorly thought out it was. It depends on your on the method of your madness. If you're trying to find a way to end that whole deal, I think it was superbly thought out.
Well, my thinking was giving two guys that I really like a boost in their views and subscriber numbers. And
yeah, Eagle Eye called me out because I haven't been making videos, man. I've been doing everything but shooting related stuff, and it's terrible because I know that Capgun's been wanting to go shooting, and I just haven't. I just haven't had the drive and the motivation to do it. I've got a boatload of half processed 9mm brass sitting on the bench. I got about halfway, 3/4 of the way through it. Just kind of ran out of juice to keep going. I've been doing other stuff, and what gets me, man, when the weather starts getting somewhat decent, I get itchy to go do something around the house. Last time we did this, we built this monstrosity of a bench that took 3 months. Like this year, I'm probably going to attack the deck, which isn't going to be reloading video worthy. And I know none of you guys want to watch me do woodworking. So,
no, what I want to watch is you coming over to my house and tackling my deck.
Yeah, man, I need to figure out how to do it first. I don't know anything. I'm carpentry like deficient, special, handicap, if you will. So I don't know. My brother's the damn. He's the carpenter, but I can't get him up here to come do that stuff. So I'm gonna have to figure it out. I priced all the lumber out the other day, and yeah, it's not too bad. So I don't know.
You still riding your bike, man?
Yeah, I've been riding pretty much so every day. Cap gun to at a trip up north, so I ended up using the Super R for a while, for a couple days. But yeah, I've been riding every day just about, which has been fun because getting back into doing that and getting back used to that and all the stuff that it entails.
Ain't nothing like it, is there?
No, it's a whole nother experience, man. Dude, you know what's funny though, I'm great at Legos. Like I love Legos and building stuff. It's just carpentry. Like I hate this wood. Why won't it sit still? I cut a piece of steel, right? And I go back to that steel a month later, and it's the exact same size.
Yeah.
Wood? No. Like,
Smiley face.
yeah. I hate wood, man. It's all wood. Look, here's the thing. If you come to wood as an engineer type person, you're going to fail because wood is all about tricks to cover up stuff.
Yeah, you have to turn it upside down.
Yeah.
That way the force will be on here and it'll take the crown out. And
yeah, there's all these tricks to woodworking, and I don't know any of them, and I've never bothered to learn. So I'm trying to learn now at, darn near 40. But I come to things as a metal worker, man. It's like I cut this to this exact size. I weld this here. I'm going to have this much gap there. So I'm going to have this kind of growth there. And I can measure all that out. I can do it all by the numbers. And then when I'm done, it looks exactly like it was supposed to. Woodwork? No.
not so much.
Not so much.
Well, the difference is metal is man-made. Wood is organic. God made that. And so,
But unfortunately, I can't seem to be able to convince God to come down and make this deck. We had to talk about it. I
but
said,
God gave you the strength and the mental capacity to do it yourself, and that's how you.
I know he did. I know God did, and I appreciate that. But I was hoping that he would give that kind of capacity to the squirrels in the backyard, right? They just come in like Cinderella, tear down, eat my deck, and then build me another one.
Well, they're making sure there's no nuts up underneath the deck.
Yeah.
You don't want no false floors.
Well, this one here, I can't keep her from trying to get up underneath of it. And of course, it's nothing but sand up underneath there. So then she goes and gets in there. She's like, yeah, let me get all these fleas I can. And then she's scratching and digging. And it's like, why?
Not the dreaded sand fleas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I am a metal deck. Man, now you're talking. Bring out a MIG welder. Let's get to work. Yeah, no shit. That would be awesome. Man, can you imagine having that kind of money? Just going to get a TIG or something and just build an aluminum deck. That'd be awesome.
That'd be pretty sweet though, man.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta worry about painting it.
Hey man, I know we can get some wrecked ass reefer unit or reefer trailers. We can just use the flooring out of there. It's already got drainage ditches. So
yeah. That's a pretty good idea. Oh, let's talk about college.
Michael asked a question about compressed loads. Hang on, let me find it. The chat's been flying by so quick.
Oh yeah, and what got me was Scotsman giving Fuzz crap about being ancient, and all of a sudden I'm like, hey, wait a minute, something's going on that's funny. Vanessa, I want to learn, and what it's going to take is me having my tools are scattered across my house, my dad's house. Once I get everything set back up to where I can be meticulous minded and I don't have to worry about getting things rained on, and I can be slow and I can learn some skills that I haven't learned. That's what I'm going to get into, doing some more in-depth woodworking and learn kind of some of the ways to do things correctly, unlike what I did with that bench, even though that bench worked. Titanium deck. Now that's money. That's money.
Hey,
man, I'm talking about bringing a marble slab and just blam.
Hey, did anybody address I'm sorry. Did I cut you off, Cal? I apologize.
I was going to say, Michael, if you would, please re-ask the question. I can't find it.
Yeah, I've been looking too. But let me just say this while you're doing that, particularly when you're first starting, stay away from compressed loads. I don't like compressed loads at all.
That's when you end up with what I had when Tack and Brenda were down here. Apparently, I found the maximum useful life of the casings that I was using. It looks like my load for my 308 is like a 4-load max, because I started having all kinds of problems. Case neck splitting, case head separations. I mean, it was like, whoa, we're having problems here. When you have to use a sledgehammer and a tractor to get the bolt back on a 308, yeah, we got a problem. He was asking if there should be a space between projectile and powder. No, that's what makes it a compressed load. Because what you're doing is the bullet is going into the powder and squishing the powder down. That's what makes it a compressed load. No, I don't need to anneal my casings. I mean, thanks, James. I mean, I appreciate what you're saying, but no, the case head was separating. They'd been reloaded too many times, and for what I'm using the 308 casings for, nah, it's too much. I did have some neck splits and all that stuff, but when the case head separated, I was like, we're done. We're not using this. I'm going to pull this ammo, pull the bullets, and go with that.
Yeah, Michael re-asked the question. He was talking about the space between the bullet and the powder. And OP mentioned compressed loads and load data. Can you guys elaborate on the subject? When you are looking at your load data in the book, a lot of times you'll see there's some kind of symbol for a compressed load. And I generally stop short of those.
Usually it's a C.
Usually it's a C.
Whenever you load any full house loads, the things to keep in mind are mainly temperature. Because you load up that load, you keep going up, stepping up your load, and you get to a point where you have a compressed load and you're shooting it fine. You don't have any kind of extraction problems, no kind of, major pressure issues, and your gun likes it. Problem is, as soon as the weather changes, that load could get hairy very quick. And that's why I typically don't run my stuff right up at max. But I know some of the other guys that do long distance shooting do, but you got to remember, they don't keep their ammo around for a year, 2, 3 years. They're loading that stuff and taking it right down to the range and shooting it that week. Right. So I typically don't go with real heavy type loads, and compressed I'm probably not going to mess with just because I don't have to. But there are circumstances in which it does work, and it can be safe, but you just have to be really, really aware of the situations. That's my take.
But as far as space between your powder and your bullet, there's no real setting. I mean, I've seen people use some kind of packing in there between to keep what that's doing is keeping the powder down by the primer. Am I correct in assuming that?
What's that? Wads?
Wads using the filling and that's to keep that's to ensure good ignition of the powder, Michael. What it's doing.
When you use wads, it's typically to get your powder to sit in the case correct. Like, let's say you have a 45-70 with what's the worst case scenario? It's like some bullseye in it, right? You have a dusting of bullseye in there, and it's just laying all down the case, and it's not going to burn right. You're going to get hang fires. You're going to get all kinds of other crap. So especially when you do reduced loads and things like that, and you have large case capacity, that's when you start looking at some Dacron or cardboard or whatever to use wads. The other use for wads is for case fire forming. if you want to put some fast burning stuff in there, and put some Dacron and maybe like a little bit of oatmeal or something, and then a little drop of super glue or whatever and then when you do a fire form, basically it gives the powder something to push up against so that it'll burn and it'll let the case expand.
But as far as space between the bullet and the powder, there's no real firm set standard on that.
Man, ain't that true? There's not enough firm standard stuff on any of this reloading. If you're using a lead bullet, there's another reason to use I wouldn't consider this a wad, kind of a wad, but you can use cardboard. You can make a cardboard gas check, right? To where you do what Kyle said: punch out a circle using your case. Make sure you're not compressing your load. Remember, it's going to reduce your case capacity by a little bit, and then load your bullet on top of that, and it'll act as basically a gas check. There's all kinds of silly stuff you can do, especially if you want to go back and start looking at some of the paper patching and things like that. There's a lot of different methods to get accurate ammo, but there's a lot of simpler ways now. I.e., coating in bullets. Trail.
Yeah. Shane's talking about shaking a factory load and listening to the powder move.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another thing too about compressed loads, if you're going to do that, and I've seen some guys do that, is when you're seating the bullet, you want to listen for that crunch, and if it's too much, you need to pull that bullet. Another thing that you'll run into is your cartridge overall length will grow. You can seat it down to the point where it's supposed to be. Then you go ahead and seat the rest of the bullets in the string that you're doing. You go back and always go back and check the first one. And the powder may have pushed the bullet out of the seating depth a little bit. So you might need to seat crimp rather than seat them all, then go back and crimp them all. And if you do that way, if you do the seat them all, then crimp them all, make sure you're checking your cartridge overall length before you crimp them, because they can grow on you because the powder is actually pushing it back up. That makes sense. That's rifle stuff. But I was talking to Michael on the phone. We were on Hangouts the other day, and he's interested in 45 long Colt. And I know, Nathan, you load up a good bit of that. And you have a series on that, don't you?
Yeah, I got a series on it for my Henry. I don't have a series on it for my revolver rounds and stuff because that was before I was making videos. But yeah, I love Trail Boss. I have bad experience with True Blue, but that's here or there. Depends on what kind of load you're wanting to do. But yeah, I love 45 Colt. I've done a fair amount of loading with it, and it is a very versatile round. Especially in modern guns, it's very versatile.
Instead of typing this, let me just say it. Brody 556, all ammo, regardless of whether it's pistol or rifle, is temperature sensitive. The gunpowder is. You'll have different velocities at 40 degrees than you will at 85 degrees. And some of them can be very drastic, and you have to figure out that stuff when you start plotting firing solutions and all this stuff in long range shooting. You really need to you need to know the temperature of what you're doing. That's why when I go long range shooting, longer than 500, 600 yards, I've got a thermometer, a digital, infrared thermometer, and you can take this is what's weird. I proved it. You can take a box of ammo sitting underneath the windshield of your truck and take some from underneath the back seat or whatever. there's like a 30-degree temperature difference, and shoot them, and you're going to get drastically different velocities.
Yeah, Michael was talking about he said that he was thinking about black powder and how black powder it doesn't want airspace. Smokeless, mostly indifferent to it, and especially in the way that black powder doesn't want airspace. Smokeless isn't going to have that issue.
Yeah. Black powder is totally different than smokeless powder. Yeah.
Hey, man, Michael, we were in the same boat, brother. Those are kind of my three favorite: 45 ACP, 45 Colt, and 4570. I love all three of those. I love 45 caliber guns for some reason. It's a thing. So yeah, man. Yeah.
Another thing he was asking is about case life with 45 Colt. Do you typically have a problem wearing out the brass?
No, I don't even think I've lost any brass, ever.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about revolver. You just when you empty the cylinder, you just empty it right back in your range bag and carry it home, clean it, start over. Worst case scenario, you may have to trim it once upon a time.
I'm sure I'm going to lose cases. Here's something I'm going to say, and maybe not everybody's had this experience, but I have. Kind of longer pistol type cartridges with Starline. Eventually, I'm gonna they'll start side splitting on me, and it's real slow. I could probably kneel it and get them to stop doing it, but I just haven't. So like 32 mags are bad about it. I'll split 32 mags after I'll start seeing splits after 3 or 4 loadings. 45 Colt, I haven't yet, but I have like tubs of the stuff, so I don't shoot a lot of it a lot. I got real lucky, and some idiot at my range had a one of those little Taurus judges, and he just loved to shoot and leave me brass. So I've got like a bunch of 45 Colt brass, so I haven't had any problems with it. With keys.
Yeah, 45 Colt will last for a long time. Where you run into having to trim and a bunch of brassware and everything, your bottleneck cases, your rifle cases and stuff like that. 45, I've never even trimmed a piece of 45 long Colt.
Neither have I. Yeah, I got a 255 grain, a 200 grain, a 260 grain round nose. I've got several different bullets. Now, the only problem is the 4570s kind of take a different type of bullet, but yeah, I love 45 Colt. It's a heck of a lot of fun. I just wish my Henry was able to feed longer bullets. Eagle's always the guy to go to, Fuzz. That's just a good answer in general. Talk to Eagle Eye. He knows what's up. Somebody asked a question earlier, and I didn't understand exactly what he was saying. I think it was Echo and the Bunny Man was asking about run out. And I didn't exactly understand what he was asking. And I think that's what Fuzz was telling him to talk to Eagle about it. Lever action 45 Colt to go with your revolver. Okay. In that case, Michael, I hate to say this, man. I don't recommend a Henry. I love them. I love mine. It's beautiful. It's a great commemorative piece, but its inability to feed larger bullets is just a no-go for me. It's irritating. Get a Marlin or something. Sounds bad, but that's my take on it.
I'm jonesing for a 38 357 lever gun, but I'm like Chico, I really want a loading go gate on my rifle. If it's going to be a cowboy gun, you need to be able to stick a bullet up in the receiver, or it's not really a cowboy gun.
Oh, see, I'm okay with a tube fed, man. That's cowboy. That's old Henry cowboy.
I don't know what it is about the loaded. Like, you know what? I love my Henry, my little 22 LR Henry. And for some reason, I was like, you know what? That'd be cool if this thing had a loading gate on it. Because I'm at the range with 522 long rifle bullets, and sometimes just I want to.
It would be cool. Just lay it on its side and go clink, 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 clink.
Yeah. But but bigger bore, and I've seen a lot of the Henry's 357, 38. That's what I'm looking for, but I like to have one with a loading gate, but I don't have money for a Winchester. You guys know that.
Man, we talking about you got multiple Winchesters, don't you? Those pumps.
Oh, I do. I need to take them back to my uncle. He ain't said nothing about them yet. He did tell me to fix them. I do have to purchase a carrier spring for one of them. I was at the range and the carrier spring broke, probably because of the condition that they were, the rust or whatnot. But they shoot awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I was gonna ask a question earlier. Did I see Loaded Cap Gun say she was gonna start making videos? I'm excited.
I don't know what she was. I don't know what she was committing herself to.
Right.
But she said something about making some videos for me. She did say she wants to come on one night, and that would be great. I would love that.
Would too. I would love that.
Yeah.
Maybe my wife would get on here. Man, I've told y'all before, my wife don't watch my videos and she don't watch our live chat. She says we talk another language and she can't understand a word of it.
Well, mine is trying to learn. Bless her heart, and I can appreciate that for what it is. Because it is another language, that's for sure. I'm actually looking through the Henrys real quick just to see if they haven't introduced something more along the lines of a Winnie type design, but I don't see one. Because you never know. Henry's always coming out with new stuff. But until I see some videos about people being able to feed bullets through or cast bullets through it decently, I'm done with them. Single stage press for precision rifle reloading. Which model would it be? The Lee Classic Cast Echo. Yeah, it's my favorite single stage. Press.
Just like the one we're giving away in 2 weeks.
Ocean says he needs to make a trip to my house. All right, brother, I'm down. That 80-degree temperature, is that what leading you here? Oh, to teach me carpentry. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm lucky I don't chop my fingers off every time I look at a saw. Yeah, what about you, Birdie? They make all kinds of stuff, right? Is you Birdie by Taurus now?
No, they're
Rossi. Rossi.
Rossi is Taurus. Uberti, Pedersoli, those Italian companies,
Mm-hmm.
they can get pretty pricey depending on what you're buying.
Yeah.
They're probably a little bit more elegant, and then more elegant than the Rossi 92, but they're also probably twice the money.
Man, I think it was Uberti. I saw one time over at one of these local shops that had a big old 45 Schofield top break. Man, I'm just drooling all over the case. I made a mess of myself. God.
Yeah, Smith & Wesson Model 3, baby. I would love one of those. And I don't understand how the U.S. government took the Colt single action over. Well, I know the whole story, but we don't have time to get into that. But it looks to me like for a cavalry officer on horseback, that breakdown pistol was ideal.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe we'll talk about the history of that little episode next week.
Fuzz talks about putting a lot of bell on a 45 Colt. You'll get fractures. I've seen that. I've seen that before. I haven't had it happen to me yet, but I've seen it where you start to get those micro fractures around the edge, and then it'll split out of one of those. Now, one thing you can do is if you notice you're starting to get those micro fractures around the mouth, just trim it. The revolver don't care. Just adjust your load data a little bit.
Yeah, back off a little bit.
It also depends on how big the bullet is you're trying to shove down in there.
Yeah, and whether or not you're using PC and all that other.
Mm.
That's one of the things I do miss sometimes about jacket bullets is just not having to worry too much about all that. It's like the bullet will resize the case. I'm not going to care about the the expander.
I'm sorry, me and my eldest were in there eating a bunch of pineapple. Hey, bring me some pineapple.
Yeah, Jerry says that the Italians can be a little hit and miss with quality control. I can see how that would be possible. I haven't seen anything that made me think, hey, the quality of this is not right.
Yeah.
But isn't it you? Who makes that 4570? I think it's is it a falling block or is it? Yeah, it's a rolling block, and it's got a receiver that's like this big around. Who makes that? Is that you, Bertie, or is that Rossi that makes that thing? It's got like this itty bitty toy rolling block receiver and a 4570. It's like an 8-ounce rifle, and I'm like, who in their right mind is going to shoot this more than once? I just question the design on that, not necessarily the quality control.
Yeah, rolling blocks are pretty much the first breech load metallic cartridge rifles we had, and I think the design is pretty sound and nuts accurate.
Oh yeah, I mean, I love my dad's got a Remington rolling block. I love that gun. Like, it's amazing. But if you take that, I think it's Rossi that makes this. If you take that Rossi 4570 and set it next to that Remington, you're like, oh my God, why'd they do that? The Rossi's tiny. I mean, you're not going to blow it apart, but it's got to be uncomfortable to shoot. That thing doesn't weigh anything.
You're going to feel like it's coming apart.
Oof. Especially on, like, can you imagine picking up one of those little itty bitty Rossi rolling blocks and shooting some of that Hornady FTX through it? You'll need dental work. Oh my God.
Hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chico, how are you coming with 45 ACP, brother? You getting it down pretty good?
I am. It's not bad. I need to tell you the truth. What I think I need. I think I need a traditional 45 ACP to shoot my lows out of, and y'all know what I mean when I say traditional. I need a 45 ACP gun. You know, I need a 1911. I'm still a little heartbroken about that Ruger I missed out on, because I'm shooting them out of a Glock 30, right? So it is a little baby. It was like my second CCW weapon. It is a beast, but it is a small 45. It is a small frame gun to be holding on to be trying out, and I got small hands, but to get a full grip on it, I'm liking it though with those what is it, the semi-watt cutters, but I'm tempted to try this Shooter World powder since I've tried it in 9mm already.
I think before we can get to the range, I've got a couple of 1911s you can play with and see what you think.
Yeah.
Man, I'm going full Daniel, God is my judge. I'm all in shade face and
yeah,
hiding in the shadows.
So, Chico, I got a email from Dunham's today. They're selling Remington R1 5-inch 1911s for $529, stainless steel with oak grips. I don't know. Y'all tell me what you think. Are the Remington R1 1911s any good? Do we know?
I don't know. I have no experience, unfortunately.
I know the Taurus 1911s are really nice right now. I saw some at the NRA show, Bad Word, back in, when was that? When they were in Atlanta 17. and the Taurus booth was there. Man, they ain't no rattle to those things. Those things are nice and tight. So I was impressed picking one up. Now, I've not shot it, but it's getting time for us to jump off. And we got 47 watching. Guys, I'm overwhelmed that y'all come out and watch us every Friday night and enjoy each other's company. And with that, Mario just showed up.
Hey.
What's up, brother?
Hey, Mario. You're just in time to hear us sign off, brother. Nathan, you want to run through the participants list again?
Yeah, man, we can do a little bit of that. We got Philip Smith over here, Willie the Bullet Man. Appreciate it. Vanessa Kitty. Good talking to you as always tonight. Ocean 374, who is going to come down here and build my deck for me, he says. Eagle Eye Shooting, who actually I know what Eagle Eye knows how to do woodworking. He built the same bench I did in 12 minutes. Fuzzy 8, Man from Out of Time. AR Precision, glad you can make it. Insight Freedom, thank you, sir. Mario, glad you could come in, even if it is here towards the end. JCM 45. Tim the Emperor, PC Bullet Empire, V-Borg. Echo and the Bunny Man. Sorry, I didn't know exactly what you were going on about, brother. I'll reread this and maybe I can get you a little bit more of an information later on. Otherwise, like somebody mentioned talking to Eagle Eye, which is probably a safer bet, especially you're working on rifle stuff. Brody 556, Jeremy Gunslinger, it was nice meeting you, sir. Thank you for coming on, and I appreciate some of your insight. And I look forward to more on the black powder side because I am completely uneducated there. Michael Signs, good as always. James Pollard, which I think I said earlier, but it's never a big thing to go over somebody twice. The Gun Enthusiast. Now, that's one I have not seen, and I missed you altogether, brother. I do not know. I'm now subscribed to your channel. Thanks, sir. Southern Style 357, fellow with the Lyman heart. I appreciate it. Oh, Willie Bullet Man, which we talked about it a little bit earlier. Eagle Eye Shooting. I know we had Uncle Jim on board. Crazy Scotsman, of course, guys. Come in, not next week, but the week after to meet the Crazy Scotsman on here if you haven't. Otherwise, go to his channel and check out Foreign and Domestic on Sunday. And sometimes he posts videos. He's just about as bad as not posting videos as I am. Loaded Cap Gun, thank you for coming out, dear. Mig, Measuring Grains. Guys, check out Meg's channel. He does a lot of wild stuff. Really, really good guy. Great brother. Ocean 374, which we talked about before. So, guys, I appreciate it. We've had 49-ish type people. That's a lot. And we're glad to have you. I'm glad to talk with you guys tonight. And if you have any other questions, hit me up on Slack or whatever, or reply to this message or put a message on this video, and I'll see if I'll do what I can to get back to you, and maybe even bring it in next week is kind of our topic. So I appreciate it. If you guys want to go around and talk about what you got coming up, and we can get signed off here. Signal Soldier, glad to see you, brother.
Yeah, guys, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I have not too much coming up, some random videos, but I'm going to load up some more of these 45 ACP semi-wide cutters and try them out. And I'm going to be using this Shooter's World powder because I like it so far. So that's it for me. Thanks for having me. Thanks for interacting with me and everyone interacting with each other in the side chat. It's always a pleasure.
Guys, I appreciate every single one of you being here. I don't know if we hit 50, but we were right there knocking on the door. I've got a bunch of stuff. I've been really busy with work. I wake up, I go to work, I come home, I go to bed, and I wake up and repeat. It's been kind of rough. And apparently everybody in the panel was playing with Shooter's World powder. I've got some, I'm going to load some 300 blackouts up. I've got the heavy pistol, which me and Jamie and Chico have already shot. And it's really nice in a 44 Magnum. It doesn't hurt, and you can shoot all day with it and get good results. So I'm excited to try the 300 blackout powder. We're gonna do that. I've actually been having to take care of my neighbors here. Whoa.
Oh,
Was he
sorry.
or the dog?
That's the dog, man. Whew.
Yeah, I blame it on the dog too.
My dog lets human style farts. They have the same sound, everything, and they'll tear you to pieces. Make your eyes water.
I've been having to care for for my neighbor that I've known ever since the day I was born, and I don't have a problem doing that. I don't know if y'all saw my video last night, but I helped him out, and it's all good. But I'm excited about the 300 blackout powder. And Jamie, we need to hook up and make a range date. I'll bring the cake.
Okay, we'll bring Mario. We'll have to invite Chico as well. I have y'all saw the Buffalo rifle. I also bought Shooter's World 4350 that I'm gonna be trying in 270 Winchester. I might make a video about that. I got one more load on 35 Remington that's going to be with the Buffalo rifle, just kind of a low end kind of soft, reduced load type thing that what I'm going to do for load 10. Then I'm going to be doing some work on the rifle and start into our fine tuning on the 5, maybe the 4 or 5 best loads that we got out of it. I'm going to do a video about this trimmer, the Hornady Camlock trimmer, and I'm excited about 2 weeks from tonight when we're going to be giving away that press. So y'all check out the Scotsman. Check out Foreign and Domestic on Sunday night. Be back with us again next Friday, and we'll try to be a little bit better prepared. But we sure did have a good time tonight. And with that, I'll thank everybody for dropping in on us, and hope to see y'all back again next week. Thank you guys on the panel, Chico, Kyle, and thanks for having me on with you guys. And it's raining again.
All
Full
right.
week down here. It's been raining a week down here.
I've got 80 degrees in blue skies, just a couple hours south.
Lucky guy.
Yeah, I'm super lucky. You can come down anytime you want. Don't worry, I won't put a hammer in your hand.
I'm telling you, man. I mean, there's ditches that are running right now that haven't ran in 5 years.
Yeah, we're in the flood. We're in the flood warning up here.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's bad up here. I'm glad you're staying dry down there, Nathan.
Yeah, well, that flood don't care. If it floods up there, it'll flood down here because all that crap runs downhill. All right, guys. Well, have yourselves a good night. I appreciate everybody coming out. We'll be back next week, same bat time, same bat channel. So have a good one. Thank you, and we will talk to you later.
Night, guys and girls.